resources into it. The latest is Wyatt Teller, the former Browns offensive lineman who agreed to a 2-year, $16 million deal to go to the Houston Texans. He now becomes part of a remade offensive line there in Houston as they continue to make changes to try to protect C.J. Stroud. Wyatt Teller to the Houston Texans. And we mentioned yesterday the Kansas City Chiefs have acquired a backup to Patrick Mahomes, somebody to give them insurance in the event that Mahomes isn't ready for the start of the season, a quarterback in Justin Fields who will get the reps during OTAs and training camp as the starting quarterback, and also have a chance to help the Chiefs offense in a variety of ways even after Mahomes comes back. For Fields, on his fourth team in 4 years, now has gone from the Bears to the Steelers to the Jets to the Chiefs, and this may be an opportunity here in Kansas City for him to shine.
I liked what Adam said there about helping the offense even when Mahomes comes back. Dan, do you like this fit for Fields in Kansas City?
Yes, I'll start with the quarterback perspective of it because it gives Kansas City somebody in the offseason that at least can run their football team, who has starting experience. I don't see this as a Sam Darnold resurgence or a Daniel Jones resurgence or a Baker Mayfield resurgence. But Justin still is an incredibly talented athlete, and I think it's going to come to the point once Patrick becomes back into the fold of, are you willing to play a little bit of a Taysom Hill role where we can build more than just a package? We can truly build a section of our offense around you. And it's not just we're going to make you be just an athlete, but we're going to put you in situations. Sometimes you will be an athlete. Sometimes we can use the creativity and you'll still play that quarterback role. I think if Justin's willing to do that, and it doesn't mean that it has to be his long-term future, but at least entertain accepting that, specifically at a place in Kansas City like with Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, I think it could have tremendous impact on the long-term potential of his career.
I mean, you know what Bieniemy wants to do in the run game? It's a really interesting suggestion, and it does make you then turn toward the draft and think about what they're going to do. They've got the 2 picks in the first round. So let's go back to Mel's mock. The Chiefs had those 2 picks in round 1. Who do you have them taking, Mel?
A lot of neat areas, Laura, no question about that. But Ruben Bain Jr., I believe, is the toughest evaluation of any of these first-rounders. Why? Because he's a great football player in college. He's a warrior. Tremendous hand usage, great angles getting after the quarterback. But questionable arm length, 40 time, all those things, those measurables that you want make him an outlier. So can he translate what we saw at Miami into success in the NFL? Somebody like the Chiefs may roll the dice that he can early on in that top 10 to 15. Cornerback, obviously a big need. Brandon Cisse is talented. He's gifted. When NC State to South Carolina had a solid year in coverage, he's going to test off the charts, 41 vertical. He's got the kind of length you want, and he studies the game, passionate about that. Teammates raved about Brandon Cisse's work ethic. He's that long, athletic corner that John Schneider in Seattle love. I just don't think he'll be there at 32. I think he goes a little earlier, maybe to the Chiefs at pick number 29.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on what they do, and it's interesting, too. I mean, there's been a ton of change for this Chiefs team. Guys, little peek behind the curtain. We had to come back over the desk. That's why you're just seeing Mel on the screen. You guys should show us walking over and see who walks better, but I guess we're not going to do that.
Gait.
All right, Dan. It was better, though, to just see Mel the whole time. Dan, how important is this draft for the Chiefs, giving all the changes? They've made some key adds, Kenneth Walker being the highlighter of that, but there's a lot that needs to change,
I think it's the most pivotal draft of the Mahomes era. This roster right now has some significant holes that we know about, and this is coming off of a couple years when those holes have been exposed. I love the Ruben Bain addition. When I think of Ruben Bain and George Karlaftis, I go, having to play against that as an offense, relentless pass rushers. And that was really the problem last year with this defense was they could not get off the field in meaningful downs. They couldn't get to the quarterback, and they couldn't cover up the right way. We know that there's an issue opposite Karlaftis as a pass rusher. When Karlaftis and Chris Jones are on the field, it's a good pass rush. It's got to get great once again. Ruben Bain. Cisse, I love the fact that you're addressing the cornerback issue. I mean, look at the impact of these 2 guys on the field, and then when they're not one of them on the field, this is a very bad pass rush unit. They've got to correct that. I would tell you that I know it's not part of Mel's mock, but I love Kenyon Sadiq there.
Ooh,
there needs to be a more reliable number 2 pass catching option. There just needs to be. And I know he's a little bit more of a straight line athlete, and maybe not this lights out football player, but I think of Sadiq to Kansas City with Andy Reid and the creativity as the next part from Kelsey.
Mel, I heard you say this just a little while ago that Kenyon Sadiq is one of the most talked about players right now. What do you think about the fit there for Kansas City?
It's a great fit, Laura. And then I thought about getting him to Kansas City because he's going to go high. I think Baltimore could be in the mix, certainly, and I thought Tampa Bay definitely could be a place for Brandon Sadiq. He is a tremendous young man. His football IQ in those interviews was through the roof. And then you talk about what he did on the field. The tape is outstanding. The athletic ability, he's still very young and developing. He will be a major league fear factor weapon in the NFL. And for Kansas City at pick number 9, I don't think it's too early.
Kansas City, by the way, the current favorite to win the AFC West at DraftKings Sportsbook. So the books are telling us that they're going to get it all figured out. They're going to be right back there. Patrick Mahomes is going to get healthy. Justin Fields is going to bridge the gap.
They better hit this draft because Denver and the Chargers are better right now. So.
Okay, but Dan, they got the 2 first-round picks. They got a lot they can do. All right, coming up, the Broncos made a huge splash today. The big news, acquiring Jalen Waddle. Shefty has the latest on what it could mean for any potential A.J. Brown trade moving forward. Can that still happen? Shefty will give you the context. It's right after this. Don't go anywhere.